Today's video is on November 2022. This is your energy update, and I hand it over to God. Okay, how are you doing? How are you doing? That is the question that I want to ask you before we go into November, because I want you to get used to being really honest with how are you doing. Yeah, that's going to be the theme for November. Being really honest with yourself. How am I doing? How am I feeling? How is my life going? And getting to a place where you're really, really honest with it. You know, if my life is in a space where I feel like it's not the right direction, I need to be able to be eyes wide open and notice it. Okay, we're going to draw a few cards. Today we're drawing cards from the Work Your Light Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. And if you don't have this deck already, then it's a really nice deck to have. Okay, it's a really nice deck to have. So the most important thing with November is going to be honesty. Be really honest with yourself. How are you doing? How are you doing? And if you can't answer the question with an answer that makes you feel content and happy, then I just want you to be really honest about it and to become available to the options that are maybe not on your table right now, but are completely available to you if you are aligning with your divinity. Okay? So please don't feel that things are not available to you just because they don't feel available right where you're at. It could be that you need to get into alignment for those things to become available, or it could be that you are in alignment, but you have to be a version of you that you've not experienced yet to be able to receive all your goods. Okay? So energetic upgrades, a new way of being, integration. So very much the theme for November is about awakening to your true potential, awakening to your true desires, awakening to your true self. It's very much about awakening. It's about knowing that whatever you have been missing in your life is available to you. Yeah, if you are not able to be honest with yourself, you're going to have a really hard time. If you say, you know what, my life is okay, it's good enough, then I want you to slap yourself across the face and not say that. Doesn't matter how good your life is, never allow it to be good enough. Just remember, just a gentle slap across the face. Never say that again. Okay? Never say that again. Okay. Co-creation. Co-creation is another theme. Yeah, are you co-creating with me, God? Do you feel oneness with me? Or do you feel like you don't have a relationship with me? Because it's all about co-creation. And in order for you to co-create, you have to become aware of yourself as a divine being, as a spiritual being. That is what you're giving energy to. And if you look at your life and you say, you know what, it's okay, it's good enough, it's all right. Bam. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not good enough. It's never good enough. Always more. Because the universe is always expanding. If you really are recognizing yourself as an eternal being, you know that you're never going to be happy unless you're expanding all the time. If you have any stagnation, any place that you're settling in your life, become very honest about it. Say, you know what, I'm actually not happy. I'm actually not happy being by myself all the time. Doesn't mean you're going to go out of yourself to go get some love. No, you're going to find it within here. And you're going to remember that you're an eternal being. And you're going to co-create the life with me, God, recognizing yourself as also God, that we're going to co-create a life together that you really like. If you're saying, I'm happy where I'm at, I'm happy being alone, I'm happy with this, or maybe I go outside of myself to get my happiness, then you're going to feel very much like you're going backwards and forwards between yourself and a feeling of I don't feel like I'm enough, to something outside of yourself, to maybe you can make me feel like enough, whether it's money, whether it's a relationship, whether it's that. And then you're going to come back to yourself and say, I don't feel like I'm enough. And you're going to feel like you have nowhere to go. Yeah, there's going to be very much a theme for November that you're going to feel very much that if you're willing to continue a path of, I get everything from outside of myself and I'm not really in here and I'm not willing to co-create a life and I'm not willing to say that maybe I don't enjoy where my life is at right now, you're going to find that you're ping-ponging between yourself and anything else that you choose to make you happy. And you're going to keep coming back to yourself feeling, I don't feel like this is okay for me. And I also don't know what to do, because what's really required is for you to awaken and become someone new. So if you're not on that trajectory of becoming someone new, that you're becoming the being that you really are rather than the version of you that you think you are, then you're going to feel like you're ping-ponging until you get it in your mind to say, you know what, maybe there is more to me than this. Maybe there's more to me than what I know. Maybe I actually am very powerful if I allow myself to start on a path of co-creation with God. Okay? So the themes for November are very much, you may notice a ping-ponging effect between yourself and other things in your life, especially if you've put your power in those things. Maybe I put all my power in money. Maybe I put all my power in friends. Maybe I put all my power in the news, or I put all my power in other stuff, or in having power from other people, or getting energy from other people. If I did that, you're going to very much recognize and realize that those things will not make you happy. And that you're going to come back to yourself and realize, I'm not happy as this version of myself that would even be tempted to go outside of myself for happiness. You know, as you become an eternal being, fully incarnated on earth, you're going to find that you naturally just maintain an energy within yourself. And as a result of you being an eternal co-creator, you just co-create a world that you really enjoy and love, and everything is available to you. So you very much are able to co-create your paradise. This is what is available to you. But it requires for you to never give your power away to anyone else. Yeah, to never say, I'm going to say that that person makes me happy if I'm not already feeling that by myself. You know, very different from saying I'm an eternal being and I co-create my experience and I'm really happy and really genuinely connected to source, and I'm really feeling all this eternal energy available to me where I'm really content all of the time. And then from that place, I'm allowing into my experience all the things that are meant for me. That is a very different experience from I'm very unhappy, disconnected in myself, and I'm going outside of myself to find things that make me happy. And I'm just finding that I become more and more restricted by that's not available to me anymore. Okay, so you're going to find in November that those things aren't available to you anymore. And if you continue to do those things, especially if you've even made any suggestion to me that you want more in your life, because you were very honest with me maybe a few months ago, saying to yourself, you know, oh, this really sucks. You know, if I heard any of that in your thought process, that I'm not liking this about my life, then I'm answering your prayers. I answer all your prayers. Then I will very much be getting you on a trajectory where you say, you know what, this is going to be better for me to really be able to craft and co-create my life, the world that is meant for me. And from that place, I receive everything meant for me. If you're not doing that, then you're receiving things that aren't genuinely for you, because how can you have anything for you if you're a fake you? Okay? It's just not possible. So the themes are very much around really awakening to your real self. And if you're not doing that, you're going to have this ping pong effect until you're willing to say, I awaken to my real self. Okay, you may be having an energy of, I have to let go of some things that don't belong to me anymore. What does that look like? That could be a codependent relationship. Doesn't belong to you. You know, if you're going outside for someone else's energy, it is not available to you. You know, it doesn't belong to you really. It's not yours. Yeah, you want the relationship that's meant for you. Yeah, that can be, you know, very much in the cards for you. But if you're too busy ping-ponging between you know, other things because you haven't had a sense of your own self yet, your real self, and the real world that you're creating, co-creating, then you're gonna find that I'm gonna be getting you back onto a track where you're awakening to your real power. Okay, so that's the theme for November. I'm going to be awakening you to your real power, especially if I heard any thoughts around, I don't like this in my life. Yeah, if I had even a sniff of you said, I didn't like this in my life, then I'm answering your prayer. And I really allow myself the capacity to say, I'm going to help you. If I heard that you said, I don't like that. It could just be like a very timid thought of, I really like this job, or I'm not enjoying this day, or I find it really hard to like get up in the morning and go to work, or maybe this just isn't fulfilling me. And if there was any instinctual awareness within you that you're not happy with your life, I'm answering your prayers. But if you're saying, I don't believe God answers every prayer, then you're mistaken. You're mistaken. I'm answering every prayer, but I very much will do it in a way that is right for you rather than what you maybe think as your small self is right for you. Yeah, as you become the true real you'll understand your real path. Yeah, the thing that's going to really satisfy you. Much more so than if you're limited in your capacity to see what is right for you. Yeah. So I answer all the prayers in the way that's right. So I'm going to say, get out of your own way. And the way you get out of your own way is to really release anything that's holding you back. Anything that feels like it's not for you. How do you know it's not for you? You're going to see it doesn't really work very well. Things that are for you work really, really well. They're like really well. Yeah, and it's like everything's so easy. Or, you know, it's like if you have an animal in your family and you just know this is my animal. This is just the animal that's meant for me. Sometimes you can have animals that are not meant for you and they have a lot of difficulty in them. Doesn't mean it's going to be all smooth sailing if you're on a path that's out of alignment, but you just know these animals are mine. Just whatever difficulty I have with them, I always come back to a place of so much love. I just can't help but feel so much love for my animal because it's mine. It's not a difficult relationship, but it can have a difficulty in it from time to time if you're out of alignment, because your animal's always going to reflect back to you what they need to. Yeah, but it's very much it's meant for you. When your animal's meant for you. Yeah, and equally if it's not meant for you, sometimes you can feel it's not for you, but really it is for you. There's a lot of confusion and distortion that can happen in the temporal realm, so it's not always going to be available to you exactly what's going on. But you have to trust that if you're feeling any discord within yourself, you're feeling like something's not working for you, you're really knowing it. Sometimes you have to be available to growth and to challenges. You have to be available to, I'm going to grow because this thing is meant for me. I just have to grow to be able to experience it to its fullest capacity. That's very different from something's not meant for me. Yeah, and that's always going to be very much a codependent relationship. It's not going to be something that really grows you. Because a lot of the time, if you think about your animals, they must probably grow you in some way. They must probably, help you to grow and be expansive. Whereas if you have a codependent relationship, it's not that can't happen with your animals if they're reflecting back to you your codependent nature. But in a person-to-person relationship, a lot of the times with a codependent, it can have a lot of things that are limiting you. Yeah, that's the identifier, that it limits you rather than expands you. Yeah, if you're limited by someone who is always upsetting you and you just can't escape those patterns because it's practically impossible to, you have to let them go. Yeah, then I just have to end that relationship. Okay? So you're very much able to identify something that's not for you because it's a limiting factor. Maybe you are a business owner and you have a very limited path available to you because you insist on how your business should be. Yeah, maybe you have, this is my product line, this is what I'm offering, this is my signature offering, and that's all I'm going to offer ever. Because I want to limit myself in some way and the business is reflecting me to a point that it's limited. And so my only way to deal with it is to say, I'm going to have a limited product offering as an example. I'm not saying you should have lots of products. I don't want you to do that. But I'm going to have a limited product offering because I feel very restricted. And maybe I offer a product that's going to make me be able to be distant from my business because actually it's not the right thing in this form. Okay, so another way for you to recognize when something needs to be released is that you're trying to use it to create distance from something. Yeah, in your business, if you have a signature offering and you've created it from a place of trauma, maybe I went through something really difficult and I said, I create this course because it means so much to me because I had so much darkness, I had such a trauma, and now I use that trauma to help people. Then you're really going to find that you really just created it from trauma and darkness, and at the end of the day it's going to have to go because you didn't create it from light. You created it from, I went through something really difficult and that inspired my creation. Then you're going to find that creation is limited in some way, or maybe you used it to then distance yourself from the business because maybe I can't actually work so many hours because I'm still healing. That's fine, but in the end that thing's going to limit you and you have to let it go and have a little bit more availability of unlimited potential. Okay, so when something really limits you, you're going to see it. It's going to limit you in so many ways, but when something expands you, you're just going to feel, I can use this, maybe I can use this business to expand me in so many ways, so it's not necessarily that the business you're going to let go of, but maybe you let go of something that you created from trauma. Yeah, not necessarily the business itself, but that most likely could need transmutation, okay? So it's letting go of things that limit you, letting go of things that feel really dishonoring to you. And they're dishonoring because you don't like them deep down. And they're dishonoring because if I came to you and said, hey, let that go, secretly you're going to be thinking, oh God, thank God. You're going to be thinking, thank God. Thank you, God, for saying that. Thank you, God. So if you feel I'm going to say something that you really, really deep down want to hear, let it go. Yeah, I'm always going to say the things you really deep down want to hear. Doesn't mean it's always going to be surface level, I want to hear that. But that's going to be the theme of November 2022. That the things that maybe surface level, I want God to say this is going to work out because that was my plan. And I'm keeping it around because in my head that makes sense. Versus, deep down, if God said that to me, deep down I would know I need to let it go. It's really getting in touch and in tune with yourself that way and in tune with me that way. Yeah, very much. I want you to understand how I think. Yeah, because I want you to think that way. It's not shadow thinking. It's always going to be thinking that's going to expand you in some way. That's how I think. I always think in a very expansive way. Let's draw some more cards. Okay, we're doing oracle cards today because I feel that there's very clear messages on these cards. And so if you like tarot cards, they're also very good, but these have very, very clear messages on them, and that's really, really nice to do today. Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Okay, so we have a very excellent camera here, but sometimes we can't quite see the words or they're backwards. Okay, it says longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So very much a theme. Oh my God, this is a theme. Oh my God, this is a theme. Yeah, a little bit of light humor there for you. You have to return to the light. You have to return home to who you are, and by doing that you're going to have available to you the original you, and it is the original you that is a light worker. It's the original you that wants to do good on this planet, and it's the original you that is gonna feel at home with other original light workers. Okay, let me say that one more time. If you're on the planet at this point in time, and if you're watching this video, I guarantee you are an original light worker. That means you've been around for a good amount of time where it's become available to you that you have been a light worker before. You've been on this planet before doing things that are very non-human. Maybe you were here at a time before human exists. Maybe you're a superhuman. So you have an understanding of what it's like to be an eternal being on the planet. Yeah? You're able to do things that are very powerful, and you are an identifier of, I'm an original light worker. I've been here before. I've done this before, and that is why I'm incarnated here again. Okay? And as an original light worker, you're going to want to have your intelligence available to you. That comes from coming home to yourself. And so that's going to be very available to you this November. If it hasn't happened already, it's going to be very available to you, that you recollect that you're an original light worker that has superhuman powers, and going beyond that has eternal, infinite powers available to you at this time. Maybe that wasn't always available to you before, but it's available to you now. So with that, you're going to want to be with other original light workers. And so if you're already on this journey of, I know I'm an original light worker, and I've been working to this for quite some time, you're also going to find that it's time for you to start meeting other original light workers that have undergone this transformation of becoming eternal. Okay, so it could be that you're needing to really build a home now on this planet, that you need to have a place where you feel, I'm really at home, and I have the people around me that will also make me feel at home. That can be your twin flame, that can be your children, that can be other angels, other light workers who are doing good on the planet at this time. If you're watching this and you feel, well, that's not really me, that's okay too. Maybe you're a new soul and you don't have experience of what it means to be an original light worker, but you're awakening to your power as a new soul. Let me tell you, new souls are very, very powerful. So it's okay if you don't feel, or I don't really feel ancient. That's okay. That's okay if you don't feel ancient, because new souls have a lot of new wisdom, new energy, very powerful, and they're able to bring in a lot of fresh new energy. So it's just a different experience. And so with that, you're going to have your own little tribe of people that you want to bring into your environment right now. Yeah, you won't feel like I want to connect maybe with other original light workers, but you have the same kind of newness as these other people. But let me tell you, it's not about being immature. New energy, new souls can be very, very intelligent, very powerful, extremely powerful. You know, even if sometimes you're like, I know I'm a bit immature, it means that you need to be available to more within your experience as an eternal being still. But what you need are other people around you who are going to expand you. Yeah. And so it's going to become available very soon that you either awaken to your power, or if you're already awakened to your power, that you're going to bring in those new people that are going to help expand you. Yeah. And so these are the themes. It's very much about feeling at home on the planet. It's very much about witnessing yourself as who you truly are. And so you're either there and you're going to experience other people who are also there, or you need to get there and you're going to feel like you can't not be there anymore. Okay, so those are the kind of things that are happening. I'm going to do one more card and then we're going to end this video. But very important, you know, to be honest with yourself, to really recognize, am I there? Am I not there? If I'm not there, then, you know, it's very important for you to, you know, be there. We got Bear playing in the background with his little ape. Are you playing, Bear? Yeah, you playing? Tell him how it's done. This is so important. Take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. So let me show you this card properly. This is so profound. I know it's backwards, doesn't matter. You get it. Take a break. You know, if you're watching this, I'm sure you can read backwards. I'm sure it's available to you. Okay, but we can see, very important. Bear, you want to be in the video? You want to be in the video? Okay, no. So, very important that you get this concept. Let go of work. Let go of work. Let go of work. Let go of the idea that you work anymore. Yeah? I want you to start to adopt that you're a co-creator. This is the theme for November. Co-creation. Co-creation. I'm a co-creator. And if I haven't had that experience, I'm going to become a co-creator. What does a co-creator do? Co-creator knows I'm a supreme being. I'm an eternal being. I always honor myself. I always honor other people. I never work. Yeah? You have a mission. Very different. Work is always, I gotta work, I gotta do more, I gotta do more. When you have a mission or you're on your way to a mission, you're gonna find there's times when you don't do anything. That you actually just heal. You just heal. Yeah? So, very important. Bear. What are you saying? What are you saying? You're saying don't work. Play. I want to play. What are you gonna do? You want me to have space for you to play? Yeah, Bear wants my attention. So if Bear senses in any part of my energy right now that ever is working, that this is a job of co-creation, then we want to let go of that idea of any work. Because Bear, my animal, one of my animals is going to say, hey, stop working. Let's play. Let's have fun. Let's cuddle. Let's do joyful things. Okay, so that is really take a break, but take a break for life. Yeah, it's meant to be a co-create. Co-creating is very different from work. Very different from work. Okay, I never give my power away to my cats. Let me tell you. But if Eva's giving her power away right now, yeah, we bring it back. Okay, because this video needs to happen. Okay, so a little bit of discipline for Bear there right now. Okay, we know the difference. We know the difference if Bear needs a little bit of discipline. Okay, so sorry for the interruption, but a little bit of going through, a little bit more of going through eternal energy forever right now. Yes, so sometimes there's a little bit of a tug of war going on in here a little bit as we're channeling a new experience. It's okay though. It's okay. Okay, so very important that you let go of the concept of work and that you welcome in an experience of I co-create, co-creation. I'm going to become a co-creator. That means I'm one with God. I create with God. I know my oneness. I know that I'm a real spiritual being. I recognize, am I an original light worker? I've been around for a really long time. Maybe you have a lot of gifts available to you. Yeah, maybe you're very sensitive, very intuitive, that you have really heightened sensitivity. That it's very much in your experience. I want to heal, I want to create, but also you've had a lot of shit to work through. Maybe you had a lot of stuff that you have to work through because you've been around for a while. Maybe you've had a lot of trauma, you've had a lot of guilt, you've had a lot of difficult stuff that you had to go through. If you're a new soul, it's a little bit easier. Yeah, you don't have all these things to work through, but you also are going to have these experiences that come in that you have to have a lot of expansion in a short period of time. But it definitely becomes a little bit easier for you if you're a new soul. Yes, you don't have things to work through. You haven't had as much trauma, but then you have an experience. Yeah, you have an experience. And that's gonna, take a little bit of time to adjust to that. Maybe I'm not meant to be someone who's very experienced. I'm actually meant to be someone who's very fresh, who's very powerful, who's able to come in and be very innocent and very pure and very available to a lot of power very quickly. Maybe you pick up things very quickly, yeah? So very different original light workers, new soul, and also it's very available to whether you're a new soul or original light worker, that you have more soul energy coming in, new soul that's going to freshen you up a little bit. Yeah, so I don't want to say that's available to you until you're really eternal, but that's one of the things that comes in when you're working with eternal energy. You have a fountain of youth to draw upon. Okay, but that's something that will come into your experience. I'm mentioning it for a reason. For those of you who feel that already, wonderful. You're starting to tap into a little bit of fountain of youth there. And, what can I say? Eternal beings, you'll see the difference in Eva as we continue to heal and draw down on eternal energy. You'll see a difference in her appearance, for sure. Yeah, that's available to you as becoming, one with God and becoming a co-creator. Okay, so just planting a few seeds there. I hope that you enjoyed this update. And if for any reason you don't feel like you recognize that you have a mission, or that just feels like, I don't do that. I want you to start to open your mind up to, there's all different types of missions. Maybe your mission is, I'm really here to be in a space where I can just be myself. Yeah, that could be your mission. I just got to be myself. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I gotta be myself. But in order to be yourself, you're gonna have to let go of working. You're gonna have to let go of the job. You're gonna have to let go of anything that limits you. So it doesn't matter if your mission simply is to be myself and to understand what does it mean to be myself, and to know that you do that. And your mission isn't about necessarily helping other people to do that. It's just about you being yourself. And that's a huge contribution to the energy on this planet. If you're able to be a light worker in that way, where you simply are just yourself, and you build your own life in a way that is fully honoring of other people's selves too. You know, like that's huge. That's huge. If you're doing that, that's huge. So really open to the idea that your mission isn't always going to be about, I'm going to be doing a working relationship with people, you know, in terms of healing them. I want you to let go of any idea of work. Yeah, it's very much the mission is about being yourself. And as part of that, you may be helping people, but it's not work. It's very much about, I'm honoring myself and I'm honoring other people. And all missions are going to be, you know, kind of around that type of theme. But some of them can be more, I actually help people with their awakening, or I help people heal, or I help them do this or that. Okay. So, you know, it's not always going to be about, you know, my mission is very obviously about awakening others and doing stuff like that. Okay, so you have to get tapped into you and who you are. Okay, but it is always going to be an element of co-creation. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And that is all I want to say. A little bit of filtering going on, so that's why I say I hope it makes sense. But this is still a very important video. And as we continue to co-create these videos, there'll be, you know, less interference on what I'm coming through ever to say. Okay.